Selamlar. Hoş geldiniz. Kingdom Come'ın sanırım kaçıncı bölüm bilmiyorum. 6. olabilir ya da 5. olabilir bilmiyorum. Bakmadım. Evet. Sir Birazcık da burada. Oh, geriniyor falan. Güzel. Birazcık da bir görüşmemiz var mı? Yok. Aa, varmış. Evet, Sir amcamızla görüşelim.
My lord, I managed to find a clue to the whereabouts of the bandits.
Excellent. Bernard already told me what's been happening, but I'd like to hear it straight from the horse's mouth.
The whole story or just the gist of it, sir?
It's up to you what you consider important.
Well, in the end, I tracked down the stable boy who fled in fear of his life, and for good reason, too. He put me on the trail of a crofter from Ujit with a limp.
And his name?
The boy didn't know him by name, only by sight. But if I ask around, I'm sure folk will know who limps and keeps peculiar company. Villagers like to gossip.
Ginger'dan
He's not there.
bahsediyor işte onun bulduğu,
If I don't find him in Ujit, I'll ask around.
söylediği adam.
Someone will know something about him.
All right. Better go to Urzhit's then. Find this limping footpad and get the names of the others out of him. They have to face justice for what they did. I want to see them hang. Then bring him to me in Merhoyed and I'll decide on his fate.
Certainly, sir.
Evet. Gidip adamı getireceğiz. Adalete teslim edeceğiz. Adalet mülkün temelidir. Şimdi Uzdits'e gidiyoruz. Niyaf haydutunu bulmaya. Hadi bakalım. Yolumuz açık olsun. Bu arada Counter Strike videosu için bilgiler toplamaya başladım yavaştan. Artık yakın zamanda belki video gelir. Ama ne zaman geleceği hakkında bir şey söyleyemeyeceğim çünkü yani bayağı uğraşacağımı düşünüyorum çünkü daha önce bu tarz bir edit hiç yapmadım. Hop. Yanlış yere gidiyorum. Haritanın dışına çıkmışım lan. Yani biraz beni uğraştıracak ama alışırız herhalde. Artık yavaştan böyle edit muhabbetine girmek istiyorum ben de. Yani birçok videoyu editlemem gerekiyor. Ses kaydı almam gerekiyor. Zıvır zıvır. Bakalım. En azından bildiğim kadarını yapmaya çalışacağım. Umarım eğlenerek izlersiniz. Yani daha çok kişiye ulaşırsak daha iyi olur ya. Hayır demem yani. Başka yani Twitch yayınlarıma da gelirseniz sevindirirsiniz beni. Genelde Counter Strike falan oynuyorum. Counter Strike ya da başka arkadaşlarla bulduğumuz güzel oyunları oynuyoruz. Genelde hani böyle tek düz oyunlar değil de multiplayer oyunlara önem vermeye çalışıyorum. Çünkü Twitch'te şöyle bir muhabbet var abi. Tek düze bir oyun oynamak istiyorsanız belirli bir kitleniz olması gerekiyor. Hani onu izleyecek, onu merak eden ya da ne derler? Yani bir kitleyi çekmek istiyorsanız muhabbet çok önemli oluyor. İşte ben de bunu yapmaya uğraşıyorum. Umarım başarılı olurum. Bilmiyorum artık nasıl olur. Ama hani gelirseniz en azından bir selam verirseniz beni memnun edersiniz. Haberiniz olsun. Hani gelip de kalmanız mühim değil. Bir selam verin yeterli benim için. En azından burada olduğunuzu bileyim yani. Ya çok nadir de olsa, yani nadir değil aslında da genelde ben oynamayı da çok seviyorum. Single player oyunları. Ama işte dediğim gibi belli bir şeyi yapmak için, kitleyi yakalamak için maalesef multiplayer oyun oynamak zorunda kalıyorsunuz. Çünkü insanlar sizin bazen muhabbetinizden, tek başına olan muhabbetinizden hoşlanmayabiliyor. Yani açıkçası şey gibi oluyor yani. Memleket salağı gibi böyle. Tek başınıza konuşuyorsunuz. Ah! Ne oldu? Attan düştüm de neden? Abi bu aralar acayip nezleyim. Geçmiyor yani. Geçmiyor hiçbir şekilde. Ama şurada köylülere soralım. Kusura bakmayın. Aha. Tapalay YouTube'u bulalım ya. Harry!
Move along, citizens. Move along. There's nothing to see here.
That's what you call nothing to see. I'd like to know what something to see looks like.
By the keys of St. Peter, this is all I need. We'll have to send word to Sir Hanush.
That might not be necessary.
Who are you?
I'm Henry of Skalitz, in the service of Hanish's Captain Bernard. I'm investigating the attack at Neuhof, and I think this could be related.
Well, I'm the bailiff of Auschwitz. And I say we don't want any of that kind of trouble around here. What makes you think this has anything to do with Neuhof?
One of the folk at the stud farm recognized someone from Auschwitz among the bandits.
We have no bandits or murderers around here.
Really? They say he had a limp?
Shit. Well, allow me to introduce you to Limpy Lubosh,
Aha.
or all that's left of him.
Hoyda. Adamı potato etmişler ya la.
Nothing's ever easy. I'll have to take a look around and ask a few more questions, if that's all right with you.
You can take this mess off my hands and welcome to it. As for what else there is to find out, I don't know. But look and ask all you like.
Wow. Ortalık bayağı karışmış yalnız. İlginç yani, bayağı ilginç.
Who was Limpy Lubosh?
A poor crofter and a scoundrel. Can't say I'm too surprised what happened to him. He kept company with all sorts of vermin. He was always getting into some kind of trouble. Punch-ups in the tavern and what have you.
Ama şeyi çevirmemişler bak. Başına gelenler çok normaldi falan filan dedi. Çünkü
How come he limped?
hani
He got
İtin
that from
kopun
some
teki.
villainy or brawl a long time ago.
Wow.
Has he been up to anything suspicious lately?
I don't know. The last few days he didn't go anywhere. He was home the whole time. But he always kept everyone in the village at arm's length.
Did he have any kith or kin in the village?
None. A loner he was. I don't know the last time I saw him with anyone.
Do you happen to know where he was on the night of the Neuhof raid?
I've no idea. He kept his distance from other folk, so you never knew if he was away or holed up at home.
When did you find the body? And did anyone see anything?
Just now. And nobody saw or heard anything. I don't know how they could gut him like that without someone hearing him scream.
Allah Allah. Hancı'ya soralım abi.
Honored that a knight such as you takes an interest in me.
I've come in the name of Sir Hanush of I'm investigating the massacre in Neuhof, and now a murder here as well. Can I ask you a few questions?
I don't know nothing about it, but ask all you want.
That man Lubosh who was murdered, what was he like?
I didn't really know him.
En azından meyhaneye falan çıkıyormuş bak.
Even in the
Bu
tavern.
da iyi bir şey yani.
Have you noticed anything suspicious recently?
Come to think of it, he was in church yesterday. He was even talking to the priest and went to confession. I was wondering what he was up to take to the faith all of a sudden.
Aha.
But
İlk ipucumuzu yakaladık.
sin's too dark for God's mercy.
Rahip.
Do you know what Lubosh was doing the day Neuhof was raided?
I was coming from the tavern very late that night, and I caught a glimpse of someone entering the village. He looked like he was in a hurry. It was only a shadow against the sky, but
Allah'tan hiçbir şey bilmiyorsun yani ha.
wouldn't wonder.
Do you know anyone Lubosh used to spend time with? Relatives or friends?
Not with anyone from the village. He used to sit in the tavern next to us sometimes, but he never said much.
Okey.
That's all. Thank you.
Evet. Rahiple en azından bir şeyler çözebiliriz gibi geliyor bana. Rahip nerede ama? Yes. Let's go. Daha araştırmam gerekiyor mu acaba? Daha fazla şey öğren diyor. Cık. Öğrenelim o zaman. Abi şey.
Hey to you. What do you need?
How's the head?
So even strangers know my shame.
I'm not here.
Ama bu başka bir görevde.
Hey, watch it.
Be a bit
What are
more
you
careful.
doing?
Are you
Ha.
I'm honored that a knight, Sir
I've come in the name of...
Hunt
Tamam.
gives a job like that to a young fellow like you? Well, what do I care? Ask.
Have you noticed anything suspicious recently?
I didn't see much of him lately, not even in the tavern. Not till yesterday in church, as it
Aynen ama herkes kilise diyor abi, tamam.
That's all.
Tamam. Kilise abi. Let's go ya. Uğraşamıyorum daha fazla.
Be a bit.
Let's go kilise ya. Papazla bir görüşelim bakalım. Neymiş derdi. Elemanı. Hop. Niye böyle kastı? Hop. Aha. Gazak mı? Hadi bir gazak. Bulduğum mezarı kazarım aga. Acımam. Abi hiçbir şey çıkmadı ya. Really? O bak şurada bir itham. Oha. Abi. Gördünüz mü şunu? Bak abi şurada bir tane daha kuru kafa var. Allah'ım. Çocuk. Şu an kazdığıma bin pişman oldum. Ay. Papaz. Papaz neredesin papaz? Papaz yok burada ya. Ha papaz ileride. Papaza gidelim. Aa burada. Lan papaz. Father Godwin.
Blessings of our good Lord be with you, Father. I'm here in the name of Sahanish of Lipa, investigating the massacre at Neuhof, which seems to be connected to a murder here. Can I ask you a few questions?
It seems Sir Hanush is employing children as investigators. But ask as you wish, boy. I hope this nasty business will be cleared up quickly.
Did you know Lubosh? What was he like?
Bit of a lost soul. Simple, rough fellow, but at heart I don't think he was such a bad person.
Did you notice anything suspicious recently?
My child, all sorts of suspicious things have been going on recently. People like Lubos don't know what to do about it, and sometimes they do stupid things.
That's really not a lot of help to me, Father.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Do you know what Lubos was doing on the day Neuhoff was raided?
Unfortunately, I do know. And I'd like to help you with your investigation, but I can't.
What?
I'm bound by certain vows that forbid me to tell you.
Vows more important than catching dangerous murderers?
There are laws of God above the laws of man, son. And one of those is the sanctity of the confessional.
Father, surely you can't be serious. There must be situations in which you can make an exception.
There are things that apply always, no matter what the circumstances, and this is one of them.
But Lubos is dead. You can't hurt him, but if you don't tell me, more innocent people may die.
If I told you, I would be betraying a vow that's a
Oba.
cornerstone of the Holy Church.
Yemedi.
If people believed the sanctity of the confessional couldn't be trusted, the consequences would be even worse than that.
Worse than the death of innocent Christians. Worse than the murderer escaping punishment.
No one escapes punishment.
Father, Lubos was my only lead to the Neuhoff raiders. Only he could tell me who was responsible for that massacre. If I don't find out who it was, it will probably happen again. Surely you wouldn't want that.
I wouldn't. But I can't betray the sanctity of the confessional. I'll tell you what. Give me some time and I'll try to think up some way of helping you. Suppose we talk it over in the evening. In the tavern. Over a cup of good wine. Maybe we'll come up with something.
All right. Thank you, Father.
Akşam nasıl yatıracakmışız bakalım hadi. Akşam olunca meyhanede buluş diyor. Vay arkadaş, nasıl bir papaz bu böyle ya. Adam ille de tutturmuş. Günah çıkartmanın sırrını kimseyle paylaşmam diyor. İyi, paylaşma bakalım. Meyhane burası mı? Hancı. Hancı. Oturalım abi. Akşama kadar vakit geçirelim. Ne oluyor lan? Lan! Aha da gördüm seni. Hadi atla lan şuradan da. Ah be, kaçırdık mı? Hırsız vardı ya. Lan! Şuralardan bir yerlerden belki çıkışı vardır ama yok. Kaçtı mı? Vallahi kaçmış abi. Tüh. Hırsızı kaçırdık ya. Hani buralarda hiç olay olmuyordu, bir şey olmuyordu. Ne kadar yalancı bunlar ya. Akşama gelsin abi vakit. Hadi akşam ol. Aha, ne oluyor lan? 12 dakika bekleyelim lan şurada. Ya toplaşmışlar ya. Ha, Papazoviç burada. Papaz amca, selamun aleyküm.
I'm sorry I can't tell you everything. But maybe we can work something out. But first I'd like to hear something about you, my son. With whom do I have the honor? Where are you from?
I'm from Skalitz.
Oh, I'm sorry. What about your kin?
They're dead.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that.
I'll be right back.
Here, we'll drink to them. It must have been terrible.
It was terrible. It seemed so pointless. We had no warning. They just appeared and began the slaughter. God knows why. They killed anyone who didn't make it to the shelter of the castle. My parents, my girl, even the Deutsch who was on Sigismund's side. I didn't make it to the castle. I wanted to try and help my parents, but there was nothing I could do. Then I fled to Talmberg with the Cumans on my heels. They almost killed me. They slaughtered people in the surrounding villages. There's a pile of bodies in front of the church in Rovner. Folk who tried to take refuge there, but then...
My poor child. May God grant them eternal rest. And how did you come to get this assignment? I'd have expected Sir Hanish to send that old grouch Bernard.
He did, but I found a witness and the trail led here to Ujits, so he sent me here to follow it up.
Ah, well, congratulations. Nice to see someone using their head to find things out instead of torture. We'll have to drink to that. Now the most important thing. What actually happened in Noyal? The good folks hereabout are saying all kinds of terrible things, but I'd take most of it with a pinch of salt.
The rumors aren't exaggerated this time, unfortunately. The Neuhof stud farm was raided by bandits, but they didn't come to pillage or even take the horses. They only wanted to kill. They maimed the horses and slaughtered some people. I'm sure they would have killed more, but the bandits quarreled among themselves and broke off the attack. Judging by what's left of our Lubosh, they're still settling accounts.
I see it's every bit as bad as people claimed. Dreadful. Well then, here's to those poor souls who had to die so pointlessly and so terribly.
I've told you all about me. Now it's your turn, Father. You don't look much like our parish priest at home. Well, we've had an agreeable chat, but now let's get down to business. So, about this confessional seal. Do you really want more innocent people to die?
Henry, that's not how it works. There are matters in which you can't make exceptions because if you do it once, you'll forever be tempted to do it again. If people stop believing in the church because their confessional secrets are betrayed, they won't trust anyone, and that's worse than even the most hideous crime.
I'll have a beer.
You're just making excuses. The people who say the church is corrupt are right. You don't care about anyone, only your own comfort.
I'm sorry you see it that way. Really sorry. You've no idea how wrong you are.
I always wondered about the things a priest tells his congregation. Where on earth do you get the ideas for your sermons?
Well, Ujits isn't Prague. It's not enough to instruct people. They have to be entertained, too. If I only read from the Bible, I'd soon be preaching to an empty church.
Our priest wasn't exactly a bard. So what do you preach to your flock about?
It has to be something topical. Condemning vices. And, of course, describing them in detail. The tongue lashing about the two popes goes down one of these days. And stories from real life, with a nice moral to them, are popular as well. Especially if they're about fornication and similar scandalous vices.
Can you give me an example?
Well, recently a priest by the name of Jan Hus started preaching in Prague, in the Czech language, and the people liked it. I hear he always has a full house. A journeyman who heard him told me what Hus is preaching, and I like the sound of it. I'm thinking about putting it in my own repertoire.
What's so amazing about it?
The preaching of Master Jan Hus about Mother Church, the lamentable wealth in which the church is drowning has turned to poison, and nearly the whole of Christendom is contaminated. Just like a flock of hungry ravens, they settled on this land to devour every grain of gold and silver. They know no mercy. Their hearts are corrupted by longing for wealth, and they shamelessly profit from everything. You want to baptize a child? Pay. You want to steal and murder? Pay and you will have absolution. What if the devil himself were to pay? Would he ascend to heaven too? With such money gained from the poor, they buy beautiful horses to ride and needless servants to pamper them. They gamble at dice and dress their whores in expensive furs. While Jesus Christ walked barefoot and had no place to lay his head. Look to your consciences, you robbers of the poor, for you are seen by God
Adam uçtu.
and his people too. Amen.
Well, this Jan Hus character is quite a rebel.
Oh, the congregational love it.
I don't doubt it.
Let's drink to that.
Funny. That last bit reminds me of someone.
What do you mean? My situation's completely different. Huth preaches against the prelates and the clerics who are robbing the poor. Look at me. I don't have a pot to piss in. I'm no better off than the folk I preach to. I'm one with them in poverty and suffering and everything that troubles them. I drink with them and curse those stuffed habits in Sosyal Monastery.
What do you think of this Jan Hus?
He's certainly a wise man. A little overzealous for my
O Prag'da vaaz veren.
came here for a look. I'm sure he'd stop condemning
Hus.
drinking and lying with women.
Don't you think it's a bit odd when someone boozes and lives in sin with a woman and then criticizes the Pope for debauchery?
No, I don't.
Where can I find out more about his teachings?
Do you like it? I copied down some of his sermons. If you're interested, you can read them at my presbytery.
What do the common folk think of it?
They like it. They're happy to hear someone say what they think themselves, but are afraid to say aloud. Things that make them angry. And they're calling for change. In a few years, it'll have grown beyond control. You mark my words, the people will rise up, and the church will be shaken to its very foundations.
Yeah, unless they burn him at the stake first.
Nonsense. They can't burn a master of the most respected university in Europe.
Thanks for the sermon, but I think I've been morally uplifted enough. It's getting quite late. What are your plans, Father?
What do you suppose? We have a drink, of course.
That sounds like a good plan.
You wouldn't let me down.
Beni yarı yolda bırakmayacağını biliyordum. Abi. Abi peder çok makara ya. Zar oynuyorlar. Aha bilek güreşi yapıyorlar bak. Ya sen kimi yeniyorsun? Çok iyi ya.
Enough of this. Bailiff, come on over here, sit down and have a drink with us.
Don't vex me again, Father. It's 3 hours past dusk, and curfew is long gone.
So what?
So, I'll have you all whipped and put in the stocks, and I'll write a letter to the bishop about you, priest.
Well, nothing to worry about then. Everyone knows the only one around here who can write is me.
Enough! Men! Throw them out.
Abi çok iyi ya.
You looking for a fight? Henry, back me up.
Bak kavga mı edeceğiz hakikaten? O ben burayı yapmadım bu arada. Yani burayı Father'la kavga ettim abi. Burayı hiç hatırlamıyorum yani o yüzden. Abi Bailiff'i dövüyorum. Kurva. Abi benim patates.
What's the matter? It's a sin to fight so badly. You think because I'm a man of the cloth I won't kick your arse? Bastard. Get your penance now.
Oh God! Oh,
Var mı başka dövüşecek ha?
You think because I'm a man of the cloth I won't kick your arse?
Var mı başka dövüşecek? Herkesi patates ettim.
Would you like to have a little ring on the bell? No sooner said than done.
Haydi.
I'd love to. And Henry too, I'm sure. Right, Henry?
Haydi dur. Seviye geldi mi? Onu verelim. Bakayım ya. Aynen. Derilerini alalım abi. Lazım olur. Satarız. Aa. Bunu vermeyi unuttum. Heh. Tatlı değil miydi? Aynen. Tamamlar. Heh, bedavaya. Tamam. Heh. Şimdi. Oha.
What's the step, my dear? Careful.
Oo. Kafalar zoom olmuş abi. Hadi bakayım.
Here we are. Look at this beauty.
Oh. We can't do this, can we?
Who says? Get ringing, wench.
Gece gece çalı çalıyorlar abi. Manyaklığa bak. Kimse de
Ah, bloody oath. And now, my dears, comes the climax of the evening.
manyak pedali. Haydi.
God, when you old goat.
Come here.
Lan.
Oh,
Haydi. Dur. Dur. Lan. Kısmı geç ha. Abi. Sıkıntılı. Aha. Rahip de me diyor. Me.
well, I have to say that was a fine evening.
Çok iyiydi ya. Tiplere baksana.
Godwin, you beast. Get up. Do you hear me? Wake up, you drunkards.
oh, fucking hell! Where the? Oh, what the? Oh, who the hell are you?
Oh, Henry. My great friend, Henry. We have a wonderful time.
Well, you certainly did, you old lecher. Now you better pull yourself together quick. You haven't much time. There's some water and something to eat on the table there, but if I were you, I would move my hairy arse before my flock eats me alive.
Oh, step on in my head. My guts. My poor suffering stomach. What was that woman on about? Before my flock eats me alive. I've forgotten something. What have I forgotten? Where the fuck am I? What the Mass! Oh shit, I have to say mass. I gotta say mass.
Abi
To help me. How? You're the priest. I can't do it in this state. Maybe the liturgy. But I have to give a sermon as well. Oh, this is a disaster. They're gonna excommunicate me. I'd like to help you, but you can. You can do the sermon for me.
What? So, first I investigate a murder no one wants investigated. Then I drunkenly keep the whole town up all night. And now you want me to preach at them from the pulpit?
sarhoş.
The bonus at the stake?
No. No, I've got it. Suppose that Sir Ratzig's protege. You just came from studying in Prague. And you want to share the words of Master Jan Hus, who you recently heard preaching there. Henry, look. From what I remember, we might have overdone it a bit last night. And if the bailiff or someone else complains about me, the bishop's gonna have my guts for garters. So I'd appreciate it. Stop gaping at me like a stuffed squirrel and start helping.
You're mad. You're stark raving mad.
I'm not. It's a perfect plan. It's flawless. Oh. How about this? If you help me with this, I'll tell you who Lubosh's cronies are.
Haydi. Abi çok iyiydi ya.
Well, all right. I can't make any promises about what'll happen.
No, neither can I.
What do you want me to do exactly?
I'll go and start the liturgy. Then I'll introduce you. You give the sermon I told you yesterday in the tavern, and that's that. No need to drag it out. If it turns out well, I'll tell you what I know about Lubosh.
Christ almighty. Fine then. We have a deal.
Wonderful. Let's get to it then.
Abi sarhoş gidip vaaz verecek bir de ya. Beraber vereceğiz hatta.
Be a bit more careful.
Damn. What's that?
Ha bailiff.
Hey, you! Halt! Surrender! You've committed
Ne
a
oldu be?
violation.
Stop!
You're under arrest.
Ne oldu? Aa! Bug'a girdi oyun. Abi? Oyun bug'a girdi. Abi oyun bug'a girdi şu an.
You've been making trouble and beating people up. So it's you!
Abi ne oluyor?
So it's you! This...
Abi. Bunu bitirelim burada abi. Çünkü sıkıntı olacak. Ben yüksek ihtimal tekrar buralara gelmek zorunda kalacağım. Sonraki videoda görüşürüz o zaman. Kendinize çok çok iyi bakın. Dediğim gibi Counter Strike videolarında bir şeyler yapacağız. Da çok erken beklemeyin yani onu. O yüzden kendinize iyi bakın. Görüşürüz. Tschüss.